Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library.
Top Gun, Guts, and Glory. Hey, we were just talking about that game. Only 2 short weeks ago, we played the overall pretty decent Bill Elliott's NASCAR Fast Tracks, which I mentioned was only one of 2 games developed for the Game Boy by Distinctive Software, and the randomizer has decreed it's time to look at the other half of their Game Boy library in the form of Top Gun, Guts, and Glory. There have been quite a few Top Gun games over the years, and why not? The idea of flying around and being Tom Cruise was just too enticing for video games to ignore. But I don't think they did as well as other flying dogfighting games did, with the exemplar of the genre being the Ace Combat series. In fact, weirdly enough, I think Top Gun's biggest contribution to gaming is being the origin of the title of the Need for Speed series, and those games never left the ground. But on that topic, one of the biggest issues I've run into with flying games is that they really do need more advanced consoles to do well. Yes, you can make most racing games without needing to be a major graphical powerhouse, but flying adds a bunch of levels of complexity that, frankly, the Game Boy and other early systems couldn't handle. Going back to Ace Combat, its first game was on the PS1, because that felt like the first generation that could handle actual fighter jet gameplay. Not that it can't be done, F-15 Strike Eagle was fairly decent, but it's far more likely to collapse under the many systems it has going. See the really bad turn and burn for the masterclass on that. You know, once you've picked through the flaming wreckage. It's especially annoying when you add in the fact that box art for flying games by nature has to be exciting. Look at that plane, the explosions, the realization that the jet is upside down. It's all so exciting. Also, you're not fooling anyone, Konami. You're just a publisher on this one. Will this game defy expectations? I feel the need for Top Gun, Guts, and Glory. Top Gun, Guts, and Glory. Game about Paramount Pictures, Konami. Don't you lie to me. Ooh, this is good music. Oh, that is an awesome title screen. Top Gun, Guts, and Glory. Oh, there was actual movement on the title screen. Did you see those afterburners? Yeah. I feel the need. Career Air Combat Bombing Run Flight Log. My name is Aku. Yeah. Let's start a career as one Tom Cruise. A choice of weapon. The music is a little crazy. Normal or reversed? Oh. Okay, it has an option there. That's good. The Tomcat. Mission. Okay, I clicked down, and it cut away from that. Uh-oh. Oh, dear God. Okay, start moves that up or down. Oh, dear, everything's falling apart. Okay, so the map is down there. What? I can't see anything. I can't do anything. Oh, there's the ocean. What? Why? What do you want from me? Oh, God, look at how flickery this is once the action gets going. Oh, man. Oh, and it's so, just a tap and you rotate like mad. Oh, no. My concerns about this game appear to have been entirely valid. Things are beeping at me and I don't know what. Okay, I need to check something really quick, just to make sure I'm not crazy. Oh, wait. Did I shoot him? I think I got something. I want to check that number in the top middle. If I'm right, it's going to switch over to 360. What? Oh, good God. Why did it briefly become nighttime and then day again? You, sir. It's night again. Uh-oh. What is happening? And now there is no indicator of what is happening, what I'm looking at. Oh, God. I think I just did a loop-de-loop. I can't even, I'm desperately holding back to try to rotate around this ship I'm supposed to shoot, and I cannot get to it. This is actual trash. Oh man, this is bad. Everything is beeping at me. I don't know what it means, and I need everything to shut up. I only got 1,000 points. Hang on, can I at least find the manual to this game online? The degree heading, missile counter. Okay, top right is the distance from target. Bottom for air brakes, middle for military, top for afterburner, and it doesn't tell you what those things do. Let's see if turning the difficulty down to amateur will help at all. You can't change the difficulty. Okay then. And I missed, and I'm now... Oh my god, this is so bad. You know, frankly, I don't know if knowing how to play this game could save it. So, like, look at the map on the bottom. I'm supposed to be able to, you'd think, turn around to, you know, shoot the enemies. But no matter how much I turn, they always remain behind me. What if we speed up? And then pull a turnaround maneuver. Nope, doesn't do anything. It is not often that I get to pull this word out, but when I do, you know things are bad. This game might actually be unplayable. The screen stutters. The map is useless. The indicators don't do anything. Why is this happening? There's no indicator of anything you do having any effect on anything. I was able to shoot down one plane, but it was only by sheer luck. Sometimes the screen just goes black. And I don't think it's the emulator. I think that's the game operating as intended. And I can't even... Look at this. I have been spending the last 2 minutes just trying to face those two airplanes and having no luck with it. It is mind-boggling how bad this is. It's like I said, flight games just weren't really a good genre until the technology got better. Because eventually we had Microsoft Flight Sim, we had Ace Combat. Oh, there's a ship. And it's gone. We had that one cool one for the Xbox where you gamble away your Zeppelin. I don't know what just happened, but I think the enemy exploded. But yeah, the Game Boy just couldn't handle an actually quality flying game. But even so, you think they could do a little better than this. Okay. I'm just gonna assume that's my pilot literally blacking out. And frankly, I do not blame them. Oh man, the word top should be nowhere near this game. Just as I said earlier, making a flight simulator game on the Game Boy is a tall order due to the limited hardware. There were plenty of hurdles stopping this game from being good, but even with everything against it, I was still surprised by just how awful the game turned out. The flickering graphics when flying, the sound design being miserable, the extremely loose and unintuitive controls that even the game's manual couldn't clear up. It's everything that we've seen in bad games before. I did like the choice of planes you could use, which apparently do have an effect on gameplay, but I don't think that switching between fair and superior maneuverability was going to save this one. And that's because, far beyond standard badness, this was one of the most uncontrollable, borderline unplayable games I have ever played on Game Boy Roulette. Even something as simple as turning around felt like I was struggling against the game without any results, and the only times I was able to shoot down enemy planes, I'm pretty sure came from luck. Apparently playing with that switch on the bottom left could change how your plane controlled, but I can guarantee you that changing that would not have been enough to help this game's fundamental flaws. I think the best it could ever do is being slightly more controllable but still awful. And I still have no clue why the screen would sometimes turn black, and the manual doesn't actually mention how to prevent it, so who knows, and frankly, who cares? I think we might actually have a candidate for new top 10 worst Game Boy Roulette game I've ever played. Avoid this one at all costs, because flight sims on the Game Boy are just not gonna happen. No, I think I'll stick to the ground. There's significantly less inexplicable numbers down there. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.